So my face is a little bit red about it because I just Biore'd like everything. Well, actually, I did some sort of facial scrub with a little exfoliator in it, and then I Bior'd it. Bior'd. And then I put the Noxzema medicated stuff. So it's a little red, but it feels very clean. This weather, this whole summer weather hoopla has ruined my skin. Ruined it. Horrible, horrible. So, I did get to wear a little makeup on Friday, though. It wasn't so hot. And I was pretty happy about that. I went to the Ashland on Friday to hang out with my friend who I've not been able to be friends with for a while, for reasons that shall not be disclosed here today. But suffice it to say, it was good. It was good to see her, good to hang out, good to catch up. She's kind of awesome. Not really as awesome as I am. Who is? What is that? Is that coffee? I bet it was. There. So I logged in today to make my little watch. To make my little whatever, and it says that now the Hangouts is going to be moving to the YouTube Live. That y'all need YouTube. If you're watching this, you need to make up your mind, because first I could just upload from the YouTube, and then that wasn't good enough. Y'all had to switch it over to the Google Hangout, and now you wanting to. You're toying with my emotions, and quite frankly, I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate it at all. What I do appreciate is this wireless shutter button that you can take selfies with. It was an impulse buy. It was right up by the counter, and I'm just wondering if it works. It was only a couple of dollars, so if it doesn't work, then I'm not gonna capture all your moments in one easy click, pair, point, and shoot. So we're going to try that and see. I wonder if it has to have batteries. Everything gonna have batteries, honey. Every single thing. But so I went to have the Mexican Toms with my friend, and honey, lo and behold, which I don't know how long they've had that on the menu, but they had chorizo and scrambled egg. You commented on my photo. Chorizo and scrambled egg burritos, honey. That's one of my favorite things in the entire world, and I didn't know that it was on that. I didn't know it was available. So I was pretty freaking happy. I can't lie to you about it. I mean, I could, but I won't. All right. I never know which end is which on these, so I'm just going to put this right in there. Okay. And it does take a battery, like one of them big, gigantic watch batteries. Make sure that this is, well, now how do you turn it off? See, these little plastic little things, I wonder if it turns up. Well, Lord, honey. Why can't they ever just make things that just, you know, turn the button on, and there you go. No. We gotta be all, you know, fancy. Honey, I'm going to break the daggone thing. Just try and put the battery cover on it. So I decided that I was going to try to do the low-carb diet thing. Because, you know, I've been having sandwich times the past couple of weeks. And they were some great times. I'm not going to lie to you. They were good times. But I'm not really losing the kind of weight that I would like to lose. And I have, this is taking me out. I have talked before about why I did the sandwich times. You know, because we're so busy, I don't get to eat. If I don't put it in sandwich form, something, there we go. Well, maybe not. Something quick and easy, you know, like your mom. But yeah, I mean, and we're really busy. I'm really busy on Monday and Tuesday, and actually the rest of the week has started to be pretty busy too. So anyway, my friend Mel, she's been doing the low carb diet since like 1874, which I personally think, well, honey, that's just not meant to go in there any further. That's all I know for it. And why is it blanking? I think she's been on it too long. And yeah, if you're watching this, Mel, you've been on it too long. I only want to lose 20 pounds. If I lose, you do it. Well, honey, why is it blinking? I can't. Off. All right. I only want to lose 20 pounds. That's it. I don't think it's a good diet to stay on, personally, for the long haul, because I just think it whacks everything else out. You see what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? All right, so I think it says you have to pair this with your Bluetooth device. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Yeah, honey, this thing, scan. I don't look for this thing to last for a real long time. It's not very, it says it's pairing. Connect to input device. Well, okay. I don't want to disconnect it, honey. Oh, it says connected. Okay. All right. Let's try this real quick, because you know that if I don't do it, I'm going to be distracted the whole time. Let's see here. Turn it around. What's that say? That says, gotta put the flashlight on it, honey. Camera. And I don't know what that says. Something. I don't know. All right, we'll try it and see. It's either going to work or it's not. Okay. Sweet mother of Jesus, it worked. And it actually did pretty good. Look at that. Precious. Can you see it? Precious. Well, Lord have mercy. That'd be great, I guess, if you was taking a big photo with everybody. And, you know, sometimes when you're trying to hold the camera and hold the phone, you can't always hit the button on the phone and stuff. I think that's quite lovely. Well, I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts, I reckon. You know what I mean? So, all right, well, I'm done now. Let me make sure it's off. I can't tell which way. Okay, that's on. That's off. Turn the Bluetooth off, because God knows, honey, that'll zap your battery. It'll zap your battery. Well, anyway, well, good for you. Well, good for you, Rosebud. All right, so there it is. Let me turn this down, because any kind of beeping or whatever, you know what's going to do. Going to be like, what? What? So, I'll put the instructions back in the books. I have no clue what the last actual video type thing was that I was talking about. It could have been the diet. It could have not been the diet. I don't know. But anyway, I just want to lose 20 pounds. That's all I want to do. 20 pounds and I'm good. 20 pounds will put me, hopefully, knock on wood, back to where I was a couple summers ago when I was really feeling good and happy. And I lost a little bit of weight with the sandwiches, but it's time to switch and do something else now. I think that's, for me, that's the best way to do stuff, kind of, you know, that way your body doesn't get used to whatever it is you're doing. My hair is growing out a little gray, little gray. This is still color on the top, but we're working on cutting it down. So we'll get there. We'll get there. All right, I have no idea how many minutes we've been going. So now to this. Here's the thing. I can't be, you know how people make videos and stuff and they'll turn their video thing on and they go right into the topic. I can't do that. I mean, I guess I could, but it's very hard for me to do that because I'm like a squirrel. And I get really distracted and start talking about 15,000 other things. So one of these days I'm going to try to make a video where I just turn it on and I just start with a topic. You'll be shocked. I don't think you know what to do with it, but I'll try. Anywho, wonder if I've got a I'm going to light me a candle. I get these at the Tri-State Liquidation in the greater Ashland area, and I find that they are of the highest quality. They're not super expensive. It's the Tyler Candle Company. And this one is, well, I don't know what this one is. It smells like bergamot and sandalwood, which is always a good time. It's always a good thing. All right, so I posted something last night on my wall about, I try to say goodnight to everybody when I remember, if I'm not too exhausted myself. And, I noticed that a lot, well, hello. I've noticed that a lot of people are going through, some struggles right now, me included. When I post things about, hang in there, and that's just, it's changing the light, and I can't have that. Light is very important to me. All right. I'm including myself when I post that kind of stuff, because we all have things that we struggle with, and we all have things that have the potential to get us mired down and to hold us in a certain place of maybe depression or sadness or grief. For me, a lot of it is just dealing with Alicia's death. I mean, that bothers me constantly. And I was telling my friend and Aunt Deb the other night that it's one of those things that I try not to think a whole lot about, because if I do, I get real upset. I get real, and the thing of it is, and I've had people tell me before, well, it was one of those, it was you still had feelings for her, or you still were in love with her. It has nothing to do, it had nothing to do with that. My zodiac sign is a Cancer, and we're very, very, sentimental type folk anyway. And I truly am a sentimental person. And I think a lot. I'm very emotional, very sensitive. And it's one of those deals where I reflect back on those 7 years, the 7 romantic years that we did have together, but also the number of years, that we had that weren't romantic, that were just, friendship and family. And we had a lot more of those years than we did, romantic years. So I don't know. I just I went to the cemetery today, and it just seems unreal. And the thing of it is, and like I said last night, when you are struggling, pray about it and trust that God's going to take care of it for you. And I know that, and I know that. But it's still hard. It's still something, just because you pray and you give it over to God doesn't mean that it's just automatically gone. You see what I'm saying? I mean, there's just I think sometimes He gives you the strength to be able to help you deal with it and get through it. And that's basically what I'm wanting and hoping for. I've got friends right now who are dealing with the loss of a parent, which, if you've not had to go through that yet, is horrible. It is. It's horrible. People that are going through the loss of a parent and as well as a significant other at the same time. And, I'm one of these type people that, and I've made this comment before, my mother used to tell me that I channeled other people's pain. And I think maybe that's why I look at people and it hits me, right here when someone is suffering or someone is sad, and it makes me want to help them and hug them and take away whatever it is that's hurting them. I mean, that's my nature. I mean, that's maybe why I do what I do for a living. I don't know. It was either that or become a stripper. There's better money in the stripping. So, but I don't know. It breaks my heart to see so many people going through so much. And my hope my hope for the people that are going through those things is that maybe they can see some of the things that I post and know that there is a God, and know that He is able and He is capable of helping you through anything, any kind of loss, depression, grief, or anything else, if you just trust Him. I know that sometimes, and I'm going to make a post about this later, I've said before, when I post stuff, it takes me forever to write it. Because when I talk, it's kind of random, and I understand. I know listening to me is like a chore. It is a task, because I can never just get to the point. I've got to go 10 miles around the point to get to the point. And I can understand how that would be frustrating. When I write, it is very direct. However, it takes me a very long time to get there, and I sit here at this computer, and I type, and I retype, and I edit, and I delete, and it takes a lot more time than you think to be able to convey a cohesive, coherent thought. So the videos are just a rambling mess, and if you can sort of pick through what I'm saying, you can pull out what I mean. But I know not everyone believes. I know everyone's not a believer, and I know there's people that I love dearly that are not believers, and most of the time you find people who don't believe they're very intelligent people who are geared more towards the scientific aspects of things, and for that reason it's hard for them to grasp the concept of religion and Jesus, and because they want to break it down into scientific terms, and when they do that, they say, well, there's no way that God can exist because here's the science behind it, the biology behind it, and all these other things. And I respect that. That's how, and really, when you think about it, if you really stop and look at it in those terms, you can sort of see their point. You can sort of maybe understand it. You don't have to agree with it, but you can sort of see where they're coming from. And there have been many times throughout the years and throughout my life that I have questioned that, you're taught not to take things at face value, and you're taught to question things. But what I have come up with when it comes to religion, and I've actually got friends who say that they would be more inclined to, put stock into religion if somebody told them in a way that made sense about it. And the best way I can explain it, for me, it's a faith. It's faith-based. It's based 100% entirely on your faith, and it's about trusting and believing in something that you have no way to see. You have no tangible way to know that it exists other than you believe that it does. Let's say that you get married. Okay, let's just say that you go out and you get married. You don't know what kind of spouse they're going to be 10 years down the road. You don't know if they're going to be honest. You don't know if they're going to be faithful. You don't know any of those things. However, you have faith. You trust and you believe, and you have faith that they are going to be all those things. You don't need some scientific equation to explain it to you, and some law of averages and some big hoopla. You just have faith that it is. Does that make sense? And it's the same with religion. You have faith that you can't like look out your window and see Jesus walking down the street, but He manifests in other forms. Do you see what I'm saying? It's more like it's a spirit. It's a feeling. It's hard to explain to someone who has never felt the presence of the Lord. Send a rose to all the important people in your life. I hope I get one too. Well, you know what? Maybe I wanted a daisy. Daisies are my favorite. No one ever sends me a daisy. I just got a message from a friend who sent me a rose. I don't want a daisy. Okay, all right, go away. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's faith-based. And for me, this is what I believe. I've heard people say before, I would much rather believe and have it not be true than to not believe. And you know what I'm saying? So Again, I respect anyone's belief to not believe. That's entirely their choice. And, fortunately, I've not had people trying to bust my balls, my friends who don't believe. They've never tried to bust my chops or bust my balls about my faith. It's one of those deals where whatever you speak life into. And, I went over to my aunt's last night, and she said, and of course, it had been a couple of months since I've been there, and she said there is a world of difference in you between now and the last time you were here, just emotionally, mentally. And the one thing that I can tell you, it's due to my faith. Because I tell you what, there ain't nothing in this world like it. There ain't nothing in this world that is going to lift you and spiritually awaken you like a faith in Jesus Christ. And for me anyway, I'm not going to sit here and speak for anybody else, and I'm not going to sit here and tell everybody else what they should do. But for me, he is my Savior. And he constantly amazes me every single day, the love that he has. Even though, honey, I am a mean, ornery little, he still loves me. And thank God for that. So, I was going through a really hard time, okay? Really hard time emotionally. It was, relationship stuff, and y'all know how that relationship stuff, honey, can just grab a hold of you and drag you under. And it was something that I have been dealing with for a very, very long time. I've told y'all before, I'm horrible with time. If I say something happened, it was a 6-month duration, it probably, was like a 5-year span, so you can't count on me for that. But let's just say hypothetically it was maybe 1.5 years of just emotional turmoil and uncertainty and just constant question marks and not knowing what the outcome was going to be. And I'm one of these type people. I'm very regimented. I have to know what's going to happen, what's happening next. I don't like a lot of surprises. I don't like a lot of surprises, especially when it comes to relationships. I kind of know that I'm standing on solid ground. That's the only way for me to completely feel secure, and I didn't feel secure. And I spent a lot of time crying, and I spent a lot of time upset, and it was horrible. I'm not going to lie to you. It's horrible to love somebody so completely and to know that it's not being reciprocated. Or at least reciprocated in a way that you would hope that it would be. They may love you in their own way, but it's not the same kind of way that you love them. You know what I'm saying? So it was a long time of just being sad and turmoil and depressed. And I finally got to the point where I couldn't do it anymore. Could not do it. Could not. And honey, I love this person. I did better than a cat loves cream. I really did. But, you've got to get to a point where you have to love yourself a little bit more. It don't mean that you don't have love for this other person, and it don't mean that you don't want the best for this other person. Frankly, I wish this person nothing but honey, happiness, rainbow, sunshines, and everything else. I hope that they find the person who completes them. Clearly, it wasn't me. I've said before, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm kind of a handful, which probably explains why I'm still single, but that's okay. That's another story for another day. But I'm good with it. I'm good with it. And I read this thing. I hope I screen capped it because I really wanted to post it because it absolutely 100% sums up. Okay, I'm going to post this today, so if you're my Facebook friend, look for this one later. When God knows you are ready, all capital letters, for the responsibility, all capital letters, of commitment, he will reveal the right person under the right circumstances. Wait patiently. Don't waste your time searching and wishing. Grow and be ready, and you'll see God will give you a love story far better than you could ever dream of. Doesn't that sound amazing? I'm not ready for the responsibility of a commitment right now. I'm not. My relationships typically have been, and with gay ladies, what the running joke is, what does a gay lady bring to the second date? A U-Haul. We're notorious for that. But, I just want to have a relationship where, I date the person. You know what I'm saying? I just date the person. I think that would be kind of fabulous. So, But anyway, everybody's different. You know, what works for one may not work for another. I'm just speaking for myself. But this turmoil that I was experiencing with this relationship that wasn't going anywhere, and it was just, you know, they say the true definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you expect a different result. It's not going to happen. And that's truly what I was doing. I kept trying to give and to do and to, you know, make it just work, and you know, it wouldn't. So I think you have to, and it's hard. It's hard to give up on something like that, especially if you've invested a lot of time in it. And it was difficult, but because of my faith and because of being able to pray about it and think about it and reflect on it, I was able to get past it. And that, to me, if that's not a testimony, I don't know what is, because you don't understand the sadness that I had in my heart for the length of amount of time that I did. It was horrible, horrible, and it's just almost like he did take it away. You know how I said it doesn't automatically happen? Well, in my case, it kind of sort of did. I just woke up and it was gone. You know, the urge to go see what they're doing and stalk their Facebook page, and you know, I just actually, of course, they weren't on my friend page, but I ended up blocking them. And because, and I'm going to tell you why, I think that's one of the truest ways to know that you're completely over something, is that you don't care if they know what you're doing. You know, before it was kind of one of those deals where I'll just leave my page open and that way they can see what I'm up to. They don't need to know what I'm up to. They don't need to know what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, or anything else. So, yeah, I blocked them. But I think that sometimes we try to hang on to bits and pieces of things that aren't meant for us, and we try to hang on to bits and pieces of people that aren't meant for us, and we end up devastating our own selves. I think it's kind of like when your desk is really, really cluttered, and you have all this stuff and hoopla that you don't really need, but you feel like you got to hang on to it. And then when you get some really good stuff, guess what? You can't put it in your desk because you got all this miscellaneous hoopla. Well, honey, you've got to get rid of the hoopla so that you can have room for the good stuff. And it's the same way in your life. You got to make room. You can't keep holding on to every little shred and every little piece of every little thing, because it's just going to weigh you down. So you just got to let it go. I don't know if that was a great analogy. It sounded really good in my head. I don't know. But, yeah. So I think my clock is still, I need to still put a battery in it. It's still saying 10 till 4. I know it's not. But I think I'm going to take a hot shower, and I'm going to take a nap. I slept the entire day pretty much yesterday, on and off. I think there's like a permanent indentation of my rump in Aunt Deb's couch, which, by the way, Aunt Deb, if you're watching this, thank you very much for the hospitality. I left you a note on your desk this morning thanking you, but I would like to thank you here for always loving me and being good to me and listening to me, and you're pretty awesome. I love you. So there that is. Yeah, I got a few posts. I mean, I have some writing I need to do. I mean, I think sometimes it's better if it's always better if I write it. I mean, I can talk about it, but again, we've well established that my storytelling, my verbal storytelling ability could probably use a little bit of work. So, yeah. I wish I had a typewriter. You know, we've talked about a book, and I would love to write a book, but I would like to kick it old school and do it with a typewriter, like an electric typewriter. So, I don't know. That's just another thought for another day. But I hope that you all have a lovely Sunday. I'm not really sure what's going on with this weather. No, they talked about, and when I say they, I mean the evil fascist weatherman, talked about how this weather was going to change last night, and it was going to be glorious, fabulous, no humidities, and the temperatures was going to be low. It's raining. It's a little humid about it. And I don't really feel like the temperatures dropped that much. No, I don't. So, don't really know what the number for the complaint department is at the Weather Channel, but I need to find it, basically, so that I can let them know what I think. To the rest of you, have a lovely day. Get out and be a blessing to someone. Get out and do something nice. You know, I did something nice today, honey. I rolled up in a Piggly Wiggly for everyone to behold the lusciousness of my locks. I know. They all seemed like they were pretty astounded by them. I mean, maybe because I had a sign on my back that says, "Behold, my luscious locks." I know. What are you going to do? Anyway, y'all have a good day. I will talk to you later. I go back on duty tomorrow, so yeah, I do need to get my stuff done and get rested. So I'll do that, and I will talk to you another time.